Gavin Newsom's $200 million spending spree on the Care Court mental health program reportedly only treated 22 residents over the course of 4 years.
Change has its enemies. I get it. But one thing you cannot argue for, with all due respect to all the critics out there, is the status quo. You can't. And in the absence of alternatives, what the hell are we going to do to address this crisis?
That's Governor Gavin Newsom 2 years ago signing Care Court into law. It's aimed at getting people suffering from severe mental illness off the streets and into treatment.
Well, what is wrong with the system when you are spending that kind of money and you can't actually allocate it?
Here's how it will work. A person referred to Care Court for a severe mental illness is evaluated. If they have an untreated psychotic disorder, like schizophrenia, a judge can order a mental health treatment plan, including medication, therapy, and a place to live. Some of the words that have been used to describe Care Court: coercive, backwards, harmful. Are any of those fair? You laugh.
So we've got a deal where Gavin Newsom says, oh no, it's helped way more than 22 people. But after $236 million on California's Care Court has been spent, and this is to enable communities to get the mentally unwell that need help into the help that they need. Only 22 people have actually been helped by this program. You got a bunch of people who voluntarily went, but that's not the point of the care deal. The point of the care program is to get people who aren't in a situation to be able to make that decision to actually get them into treatment. So 236 million, 22 people. The governor says, oh, that's not true. What's the deal? Let's get into it. Here we go. California Governor Gavin Newsom's $236 million program to help those with severe mental illness who bounce between homelessness and jail has helped a measly 22 people. Are you surprised? Are you shocked? I'm not either. Because, when you got $250 billion in fraud out there, what's another $236 million? At least you got 22 people helped, right? And these statistics, are the 22 people, are they still not on the streets, whacked out of their mind doing drugs? Who knows, right? Newsom's Care Court was billed as a completely new paradigm. A completely new paradigm. Yeah. To get the mentally ill off the streets and into treatment with up to 12,000 people expected to benefit. Yeah, that didn't work out. Is this a shocker? No, it's not at all. This is the invariable waste that the homeless industrial complex brings to the table every single time you turn around, because they're not really interested in getting people help. Because if they did, their entire ecosystem would be destroyed. Oh, we're here because of the homeless. Yeah, what's your exit strategy once they're all gone? Oh, we don't have one because, they're always going to be around, because we're going to have programs that make sure they're always around so we can get paid. But only 22 people have been sent to treatment over the past 4 years after a state analysis found that up to 50,000 people could be eligible for the program. What comes to mind? I think California has 187,000 homeless people right now, something like that. I mean, it is absolutely bonkers. And of those 100 and whatever thousand, how many are mentally ill that are not in a position where they can either get treatment, they can't go into detox, they can't work out how to really do any of this because they can't work out how to do anything. They're just absolutely stark raving mad, and they're doing a bunch of drugs in the streets. And then that's how they end up in environments like this, where, you've just got, what do you got here? You got a tarp with a bike, with a bunch of stuff, with some dude sitting in front, a whole bunch of garbage, more stuff, another bike, some gal out here just waking up, getting ready to go forage for some more fentanyl, right? I mean, who knows? But that is invariably, that's what you've got going on. 22 court-ordered cases were among roughly 3,000 petitions filed statewide as of October. Of those, only 706 were approved, including 684 voluntary agreements. So that's where you get to 22. 706 minus 684, 22. I mean, it's sad. It's sad that much money is being spent, and you know you've got thousands of people that should be benefiting from this program. California, Oregon, Washington, diehard blue states, they would much rather see, and they have no issues with their constituents, with their residents, homeless or otherwise. They're totally okay with them completely getting whacked out of their minds, dying of drug overdoses, as long as they still have their civil liberties intact. So all these people just absolutely crashing out in the gutters, dying, they're okay with that as long as they aren't involuntarily put into treatment against their will. Because then, oh yeah, we got the ACLU coming because their civil rights have been violated. This program was meant to kind of encroach on that. And that's why people who were against it said, oh, we don't like this program because you might put people into, treatment that they don't want to go. That's the whole point. They need to go. They need to not be on the sidewalk, blasted out of their mind on drugs, screaming at the clouds, screaming at the light post because they're so mental and they're on so many drugs. Care Court has helped thousands of Californians into care to recover, not 22. This is Newsom responding. Even under the most narrow definition, court-ordered treatment plans, which is one of many treatment outcomes, the number is 600 plus and growing, his press team tweeted. Yeah, but those are voluntary. The whole point of this whole deal is community assistance, recovery, and empowerment. It's to help people with mental health and substance use disorders get the help that they need. And when you're telling me only 22 involuntarily were committed to the program, that is just one of those. Yeah, the math is not mathing. Absolutely mind-blowing, isn't it? I mean, or is it? It's really not, is it? It's just money, money, money. You've got the massive, massive homeless industrial complex. And in California, I don't think there's one anywhere in the world that's quite as strong as the homeless industrial complex in California. Because you got so many people. You got such a big economy. You got the fifth largest economy, if it was its own country, in the world. So you've literally got billions of dollars to absolutely piss away. Here's part of that. Here is exactly how that happens. Wow, we've helped more people than they're actually giving us credit for. It's meant to get people into treatment that don't understand that they need it. This is how you do it. It's the CARE program. Oh, okay. Critics say it's become a costly bureaucratic maze that leaves families frustrated and desperate. It's really hard in a big blue liberal city to get your loved one into treatment involuntarily. The police aren't going to do anything. It's not inside their realm. Local officials aren't going to do anything. Treatment counselors can't make them. And so when you're left with this thing where your loved one is going to die unless they get some help, you're just like, where is the humanity in this? Where does that make sense? Help me make sense of this. How does this go? And then you see a program like the CARE deal, and you're just like, all right, yeah, it's insane, right? It's absolutely insane. Rhonda DePlazes, 62 of Concord, believed CARE Court would finally force life-saving treatment on her schizophrenic son after decades of repeated arrests and near starvation on the streets. Yeah, these people shouldn't be on the streets because they should be in a mental institution. They should be getting medicated somewhere to level out, right, what's not going correct in their brains. Instead, you're literally allowing them to live in tents like this, and you've just got a bunch of crap around. You got people coming by stealing their stuff. You got people assaulting the women. You got stolen stuff going in and out of tents. You got human trafficking. You got sex trafficking. You got stolen goods. You got bicycles 10 ways from Sunday. You got hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars being spent, and nobody's going anywhere. Nobody's going anywhere. Supposed to be what, a 9% decline in homelessness in California? I don't buy that for 1 second. Yeah, the numbers have been cooked, right? Or the point in time, the pit is wildly inaccurate. Wildly inaccurate. I mean, on a good day, it is difficult to rein in where all the homeless are staying, right? They're a rather transient population group, the homeless, in and out. I mean, half of them are literally certifiably crazy. They're on drugs that they're self-prescribing. Oh, yeah, give me a little meth. Yeah, give me a little fentanyl. Give me a little whatever. Give me a little, and you're left with, okay, but you're supposed to be getting treatment. Oh, I'm good. Don't need it. Instead, a judge rejected her petition. We're back to the gal with the kid, leaving the family feeling devastated and completely out of hope. Kevin Dalton, former candidate for LA Board of Supervisors, slammed the program as a gigantic missed opportunity. It's supposed to help so many people. It had so much money going to it. Even if it did help 600 people, call it 700 people, is that the best you can do for $236 million? You know what I mean? You're just left with, what? We're doing what? Talk about shenanigans of the highest order, right? People who are supposed to be helping are in fact profiting from the situation. Oh, wow. Is that true? Dalton told the Daily Mail. It's like a diet company not really wanting you to lose weight. It's the same business model. Yeah, don't lose weight because then you won't pay for our services. Oh, and it's rather circular, isn't it? So Newsom launched the Care Court in 2022 to help the severely mentally ill receive treatment ordered by a judge. That's the underlying, right? There are around 3,000 petitions filed across the state. While 706 of them were approved, 684 of those voluntary agreements that were never the intended point of the program, according to the report. 684. That's our math, right? That's not the point of this program, which is to help those who can't make the decision have a judge step in and go, you need some help. We're going to put you here because you should not be out on the streets just doing your thing. So here's the crazy number, right? This is the crazy number. By the numbers, with 22 people served through the program, for the Daily Mail's report, California spent $10.7 million per person. Even if you do give credit to those who went voluntarily to treatment or to court-ordered psychiatric, whatever it might be. Those who went involuntarily, which is what the program is meant to do, those 22 people, $10.7 million. Absolutely mind-blowing. And that's how you get to $250 billion of fraudulent money. Here you go, all day long. That's the big number that people are throwing out that California has liability for, fraud of that nature. Let alone, I don't think this is fraud, but this is just absolute mismanagement. This is like, well, what did you think would happen? You got a bunch of judges who don't want to involuntarily commit anybody to anything. And again, they are willing and happy to see their folks that they should be helping die in the gutters of a drug addiction or some crazy mental illness, as long as they haven't had their civil liberties violated. Meaning they haven't been involuntarily put into treatment, mental health care, whatever. And instead, they bounce around between jail and, some tent. Just like, what? And you spent how many hundreds of millions? 236 million? Oh, there's some money well used. If the 684 number is taken into account, as Newsom's office feels, the per person spending comes to, it's only $345,000 per person. I feel so much better. It's not 10 point, what was it? 10.7. It's 300. How do these, the math doesn't make any sense at all, does it? You're like, how much money was spent? Was there a lump sum you had to sink into this program to make it go? And then you just spend hundreds of millions of dollars moving forward with a program that basically does nothing? Make that make sense. This is how you continually have homelessness go up. You have programs that don't work. You have judges that don't really care about people. You have judges that are more intent on justice reform, just letting the bad guy go. Just let him go, let him go, let him go. California doesn't want to work with ICE, do they? They don't work with ICE. So as a result, you've got a whole bunch of criminal illegals in California. They're going to be allowed to basically roam free. Your elected officials that are fighting desperately to not have ICE, law enforcement in their community, tossing the bad guy. These are the same communities that would benefit immeasurably, but because they don't want to drop the hammer on people with real mental issues, or just coddle them and allow them to be on the streets, allow them to do whatever. And then we wonder when they die, wonder if that person could have been helped. That's somebody's daughter. That's somebody's son. That's somebody's whatever. Could be, somebody's dad, somebody's mom. And because you're not willing to give them the actual help they need, which is, hey, you're not going to enjoy this, but you're going to be put in treatment for 90 days. We're going to have you sober up, and then we'll see if we can, provide you some further outpatient treatment, put you in a sober house, that kind of thing. But no, we don't really do that. You can see that from these numbers here. 22 people, $10.7 million. Nonpartisan Legislative Analyst's Office estimated that California has spent, get this, California has spent this number on homelessness since 2019 when Newsom took office. $37 billion. 37 with a B has been spent in California on homelessness, and it's arguably gotten worse. Make that make sense. Shenanigans, I tell you. All right, that's it for me on this one. Thanks so much for being here. Love to have you subscribe, do all that good stuff. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.